settings. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Ah,
You say I should.
Yeah, when it's got the sign up that says mute, you don't touch it.
no, it's not the mute. It was asking me to join with audio for some silly reason.
Oh yeah, you have to click all that crap. And by the way, John, I saw you on TV the other day.
Yes, I noticed. I figured that might be the case. Oh, we're streaming live to YouTube this time.
All right, but people are going. It's going to get interesting when they start closing things down for the Parkway, for the Berlin G. And so many people have kicked the can, and then everybody's going to go screaming, well, what have you done? And they're like, oh,
I'm personally hoping that the current flood modeling that's going on, they're doing a third round of flood modeling, is to accommodate the mitigation that they're supposed to be making.
oh. You're trying to figure out where the wetlands are that are driving everybody, that is driving everybody nuts, and
Well,
the
not the
answer,
wetlands, but where the floodwaters are going to go.
floodwater is going to go. Okay.
Yeah. Because they're basically filling a lot of wetlands to do the thing.
Yeah, but that's all. Yeah, it's ponding. You're right.
I've hiked it. There's wetlands.
But why can't look what DOT did for Bees Ferry Road? And effectively build a dike across five 7 miles, and then they said, well, we didn't change the floodplain.
And the Glen McConnell Parkway, which is leading to flooding of that one other area.
Lord, yeah. Hello, Low Country. If you raise the road, well, when they did Trolley Road here in Somerville, I taught in school up there, and they come at us and said, what are you doing diverting rainwater? I said, we're not diverting any rainwater. It's water running off your road because they raised the road about 2.5 feet. Sounds familiar?
Mm-hmm.
And they were literally flooding our school.
Which school?
There's a career center school on Trolley Road. Right near
where that had flooding problems.
Yeah, we did when it rained, because we had a big sloping parking lot coming straight down from the road.
Yeah, I have seen it.
Yeah, and we had to dig a ditch across there to divert the rainwater from the school into our drainage ditch. We had to put concrete in the backside of the drainage ditch, because when that water come out of there, you didn't want to be near it. I see another face popping up.
Good morning, John.
Oh, we got another voice. Do we?
Yes, I heard him.
I heard him too. I saw it once. Yeah, but it'll be. We shall see. We have raised the voice.
I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, we've raised our voice. I like the idea you put in about trying to get it down the other side. That's where it should have been in the first place.
Yeah,
that's the only side of the trail. It's on that side of the canal.
That's one of the things that would take additional flood modeling. Hence my hope that that's what's going on with this third round. Darn it. No, that's not what I'm going to do. Show video. Yes, much nicer. Live on. Huh, okay. There's quite a bit of a delay for the YouTube stream.
You notice that real quick.
I still haven't said it yet. Wow, that is a long delay. There we go. All right, back to Zooming. Kaspersky, we don't need you right now. Oh, check your email. I sent a list of the action items. I just listed them by number. I didn't actually bring up, and I suggest you open up also in the backgrounds the comprehensive plan. I forgot to email that, the comprehensive plan.
Need the two of them to figure out which one's which one's what.
Sent.
Oh yeah, you just put numbers and page numbers down on it.
Yeah, it would have taken a long time to have actually done the list the entire darn thing.
Yeah, but you should have sent us a link to the comprehensive plan.
That's what I'm about to do.
Oh, okay, then in that case, I'll wait. Because John,
Yes.
I got my other rig sitting behind me.
Oh yeah, I forgot you've got two.
Yeah, my desktop rig doesn't have a microphone.
Huh.
You know, I could put a USB on it, but I haven't. It doesn't have a camera, so I gotta have, you know, how many things you want to add to it.
All right. I believe I've sent you guys the link in the past, but in case I haven't. Yes, that's a working link. Okay, link is sent. What's this? I don't need this. Might be easiest just if we had someone share screen of it. Let's see.
John Mott, I have a question for you.
Yes?
In the comprehensive plan you sent us, it refers to a 2010 bicycle study that was done. Is that accessible?
That's a good question. I must, Give me a moment to queue up the first thing we need for the meeting for that off of that page 62. No, not page 62, page 46. Page 46 plus 5 is 51. equals 4. All right, there. Okie dokie. All right, moving on to your question. Oh, before we start, we need to remind everybody how to make each person full screen. And I forget how to do that myself.
Oof.
Oh, there we go. No, not speaker view. No, I don't remember how to do that.
We'll
Oh,
survive.
okay, I get it. All right. All right. In order to full screen, in order to maximize the screen, you click on speaker view and then the person you want to maximize. All right. All right. Back to, let's see now. You said the 2010, what was the specific name? '10 Somerville Comprehensive Plan. Well, that's not what I asked for. Let's see. Planning.
And I brought that up in the driveway, but the other one, yeah. What?
I'm on mic.
I myself don't recall seeing the 2010, much of the 2010 plan.
Can you guys hear me?
Can hear you now.
Yeah.
Don't see you, but we hear you.
Ah, there you are.
John, this is Leonard. You can go ahead and share your documents and start whenever you like. I think everything's queued up.
We got it. We have a quorum.
I still can't find that 2010 comprehensive plan.
I just put the Somerville Comprehensive Plan in and Google picked it right up.
Yeah, but not the 2010 one.
Okay.
John Mott, I'll email you after the meeting to chase that rabbit.
All right. Why? Zoom. Why? What? Why am I not? Okay. Now I can see everyone. What on earth? We have a quorum. Are we going to start the meeting?
Yes, let us begin then. We do have our quorum. The first item we have on is public comment. We don't have anybody public logged in? Seeing none. Next item becomes the acceptance of the minutes that Kelly so actually provided.
Just double check the attendees because the attendees weren't listed on Rick's notes and I wasn't there. So do I have that correct as to who was there and who was not? I don't have it who was not, but as to who was there.
I think you need to add Bonnie.
I'm under
Oh,
visit.
no, she's visitor. Okay, you got her.
Okay.
I think it's good.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
Kelly,
Yeah.
the email that I received with the minutes said the file was not found. The only thing attached was the schedule of the upcoming meetings for the next year.
I never sent that. Huh. I don't know. Why? I mean,
Look, how about resending the minutes to me on a different email?
sure.
Send it to alabamaned@gmail.com.
alabamaned@gmail.com. Okay, I will do that.
do we have a motion to accept the minutes as
Move
read?
to approve. Move to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Saying,
I
away we roll. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Doing it. And Rick, thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Next item we have is our look at our meetings for next year.
I have no comments on the meetings for next year.
Me either.
Whether they're going to be live cast or Zoom cast, the answer at this time is
We don't know.
I'm not going to participate in person until I'm vaccinated.
that's another. Did you see where that one vaccine has to be at minus 94 degrees?
They're coming.
They're coming. Yeah, but everybody, yeah, the next one will be a lot, be a lot easier to work with.
Move to approve the meeting schedule.
Yes.
Approve.
Second,
Anybody opposed? Make sure you put these in your Google Calendar. By the way, Bonnie, that link from the Google Calendar works like a champ for setting these meetings up.
Okay, great.
I just clicked it and it rolled right on in. I like that. Let's make it easy. Any other new business? Hearing none, we move on to old business, and that would drop it in Rick's ballpark with our 2020 improvement priority list.
Yeah, I don't think we have any updates. John Mott, I got your emails on the Strava data and kind of the windows that we wanted to do for like the individual cut sheets. I have not done anything on that since we last talked. I was going to wait until we kind of go into our improvement list next year, starting in January. So appreciate that, but we'll be in touch in the next couple of weeks.
All right.
Yeah, I think the planning commission really appreciates the fact getting those lists and we get them on a priority. But I really think it's going to be interesting when we see what's going to happen with this Berlin G. Myers, if anything. By the way, did everybody catch John on TV the other day?
I didn't see him on Reddit on, I guess on Facebook. I saw it.
Search ABC News for, and then go to ABC News for, and then search Parkway, and it'll be the first story. It's just me saying, it's not much. It's just a little bit of me talking about how the trail is impacted. It's almost a non-story.
Hey, it made the news. That's good.
Yeah,
Famous.
it may be a non-story to you, John, but if you've made it aware to a whole lot more people in the public that this
Yeah.
problem is coming, and everybody's saying yeah, and the can's getting a little shorter to get kicked.
Did they approach you, John, to do the story?
Actually, remember that there was a story a few days on Friday, it was, I believe, that about the parent who wanted her kids to be able to cross Berlin G. Myers at Gahagan to go to Span Elementary. And I followed up. I contacted the reporter saying they're going to be building the same thing at Loudon Drive with phase 3. And she said she wanted to meet with me no more.
Right.
I hadn't thought on that side when they build that across there. There's a whole lot of kids that walk down from those apartments up on Loudon Drive to the school.
And in order to get to the trail or the school, you have to cross that 5-lane intersection as planned. There needs to be a below grade crossing. There might be enough room to put a pedestrian bicyclist culvert under it, but it's not quite clear from what I've seen. They could fix that by raising the grade of the road just a little bit. Currently, it's in a third round of flood modeling, as I recall, if I recall correctly. Hopefully, they're taking care of those things. All right. Any questions on that particular topic before we move to our next agenda item?
We have no next agenda item.
Oh, I thought the one talking about the action matrix was next.
I didn't see it on my list.
Bonnie? I thought,
Rich, okay, just one second. Yeah, after I after I got your email, I added the comp plan discussion to it, and I think that should have been posted on the web.
I grabbed an older email.
Okay.
I'm cold.
so, okay, moving to that then?
Yes, moving on, please.
Okay, I guess I'll lead it since I brought it up originally. All right, I need everybody to click view up in the upper left-hand screen, up in the upper right hand of your Zoom window. Click speaker view. And that will bring up one person at a time. And then click on me, my face, and then you can go full screen be able to more easily see things when I share my screen. All right.
Good.
Oh, you gotta. Where's click full screen?
I'm gonna do a matching language.
View. Oh, yes. Click on the view and one more time to go full screen. Up in the right hand. All right. All right. No, come on, you silly machine. All right. I'm having trouble here on my end. All right, everybody should have all right, everybody should have a picture of the comprehensive plan on there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
All right. Looks like the best way to do this is from the action matrix itself rather than the pages it mentions. All right, first item is action items. All right, page number 62. Oh, all right. Number 62. All right. This one doesn't, okay. Can everybody see the action matrix now?
Got it.
Yeah. So renovation of homes and installation and repair of pedestrian infrastructure should be emphasized in the historic neighborhoods. We've done that a little bit. It doesn't specifically list us, but we have been doing some of that. Elsewhere in the document, it actually lists a bunch of things that we should prioritize. And we'll come back. And they're all on our priority list. Let's go, while that's on the top of my mind, let's go visit that. Okay, here we go. Here, come on. All right, here is the specific things from the plan that we have, that they want us to do. All of these items are on our list already. And so, this document says that we need to move them, basically says we need to move them to the top of the list. I'm not sure how to, I'm not very good at making presentations, I guess.
Yeah, John, really, this document was formed from the meetings that they had, just our public meetings and the meetings that they had with the, folks from the Bike Ped Committee.
Okay.
I forget who went along to that. I know Sarah was involved.
I think it was me and Sarah went to that a couple of years ago.
Okay. Yeah, because there was like key folks and then they got just that priority list, the priority improvements. So even though that's just a plan, it was based on stuff that the committee had done. So if things change in the future, it can.
All right. And so
that's probably based on our 2018 or 2017 list. So
probably, yeah.
All right. All right, moving on to the next item. Page 50. Okay, page 52. Add 4. Come on. Oh, you. Page 52. All right. This one, aging in place. continue to develop well-designed and fully connected local bicycle and pedestrian networks that provide safe and accessible for this thing. You can probably read it faster than I can say it. I don't know how to, I don't know how to run through this. Do we just,
Highlight it. That's fine, John.
all right. Has everybody read these yet?
Mhm.
I haven't read them in detail, no.
Okay.
Yeah, looking at this one you got highlighted, John, I was just thinking that they had a thing in the paper about the park down on the Ashley River at Jensen Landing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think about the fact that DOT sat on that money to bring the bike trail down to Landing.
Yes, that's addressed as one of the items in the action matrix. We'll get to that in a little bit.
I think we can consider these as we go through our list next year. But a lot of this, I mean, you know, when we were looking at the new trails this year, it was connecting like Doty Park and to the Dorchester Chandler Eagle Ridge trails as well. So I mean, we're doing this already.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yes. All right. Matrix item 89.
That's already on our list as well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's now all, yeah, basically all the different, let me, Bear Island, Marymead. Yeah, the Sawmill Branch.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically get all, yes, that's on our list also. Okay, that's good. That is a priority action item. All right, next item. Oh, 90, okay. Other things that are on our priority list, basically, as a priority, and those are priority actions. Action item 90 here.
I do believe that's also on our list, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wallabouts, yeah.
A lot of the things are on our list, but some of the things are not.
Yeah.
So let's
You
see.
want to go to the things that are not, John?
I did not actually sort those out from these.
Okay.
Page 90. Okay. Action item 93. Yeah, this one's okay. This one's not on our list, but it's just one thing to sort of keep in mind as the town goes forward on various different things.
Bonnie had, the last word I heard on an intermodal hub was down there where Pomeno.
And they just changed it the other day. It's now going to terminate at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
no longer in Somerville.
Yeah.
I think a big part of that is it's funded by the Charleston County sales tax that was passed in 2016. I always thought it was peculiar that they were looking at expanding into Dorchester County using Charleston County sales tax money. So I think, there's, there's obviously been a great need for it and a great interest in extending it, to Somerville and downtown. I wouldn't be surprised if Dorchester goes for another transportation sales tax referendum. It'd have to be in 2022, to include the extension of the BRT up into Somerville.
That's interesting, Rick. I never thought about it being a funding issue. You would think that would have already been worked out.
Long ago.
Yeah, it was just a bit of a shock too, because with all the different meetings with the COG, and they're talking about different routes, like through Lincolnville, or like where to terminate in Somerville, like going, downtown or even going up towards the Nexton area. And then it was like, nope, we're going to stop it at the fairgrounds before we even get to, Dorchester County and the Somerville area. And I guess it just happens that way.
Yeah.
They came up and did a big presentation last fall, I think it was, over at at Austin Middle School. And yeah, they seemed to be really pushing to come up this way. So I was surprised when I read the news that they were cutting it at 70.
I know, like I was too. And then speaking with somebody from the COG, they said that I guess based on their, modeling or numbers, whatever they had, they wouldn't get as much riders. And I'm like, but I think Somerville would have because a lot of people live in this area and work, in Charleston. So, but it probably with the funding has a lot to do with it.
And this would be what they're proposing in Charleston County, even to the fairgrounds to downtown. They'll be the longest BRT in the U.S. So I think there's some challenges. I mean, BRTs are usually a couple miles in length. This is 10 plus miles, maybe close to 20 miles. So I think funding goes into that. So I think if and when this gets established, and it'll be easy to add on to it. They're probably just trying to trim it down at this point to.
I suspect the reason I'm sorry. I suspected the reason. Could you finish? I shouldn't have interrupted. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I'm good. So I'm just thinking they're trying to minimize it right now to get it off the ground.
My suspicion is the reason it's the longest is other cities would do such a distance by rail.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I didn't realize it was one of the longest. So it's like there's always more to the story. There's always like other reasons. So I'm sure that did factor too, that it's such a big project. Yeah.
Next action item. All right, back to screen share. 93, number 100. Implement, okay, this one is easy. Implement, a bit out of date now. Going back to the same topic, implement pedestrian and bicycle connections to the LCRT station area.
Pause.
So, that's just one of those evolving things.
We'll have to have a really long sidewalk.
Well, ideally, Highway 78 would have a multi-use path along it, but there are a lot of right-of-way issues. And we don't control much of that. All right, page 105. This is another busing issue, but not the rapid transit one. Not 105. Item 1.
Yeah.
Install seating, shelters, and signage at downtown bus stops and provide direct connections to bicycle facilities and bike racks where possible. And I have that queued up almost. Here is a marker of all the different bus stops that we have currently. focusing on downtown, we've got the Berlin GMR's parking ride at Gahagan Road, at Main Street Richardson, next to the town city hall and stuff, and at the Dorchester County building. There's a stop. Those are the Main Street stops. So, and then at 17A in Somerville, that's within, it's a little bit difficult to see, but the city limits are shown.
Yeah, that's in Berkeley County.
Yeah, but it's within town of Somerville, incorporated into Somerville.
Okay.
Are all of those signed? Do they all have signage?
I do not know, and that's probably one of the recommendations.
Yeah.
Yes, that is one of the recommendations in this action matrix, if I recall correctly.
Bonnie, is there a sign outside town hall? I walk that way all the time. Can't think of where it is.
No. Yeah, I don't know either. I know that our planning director, Jessie Schuler, a lot of times takes the Trident link. And so she's familiar with it, and it's close to town hall, but I don't know if I've actually seen a stop. Yeah.
So benches and signs is one of the things we need to push planning and commission for. All right, next item. All right. 5. 6. Okay, next one. Continue to enforce the town's complete streets policy to accommodate users of all modes of future street improvements and update it to encourage off-street or separated bicycle facilities wherever feasible. Practice increase safety and incorporate other best practices. Basically, keep an eye out on things and make sure everything's done right for complete streets with new development and new streets. Anyone care to speak on that? No. Moving on. Item 111. The sidewalk. Conduct a sidewalk inventory and develop a sidewalk gap prioritization and maintenance plan, including the validation and prioritization of the BPAC priority projects, i.e. this could be accomplished independently or as part of an updated active transportation plan. Sidewalk inventory is a tall order, in my opinion. Anyone want to speak to that? Hello?
Isn't that really what's going on with the improvement list? I mean, that's
our job.
Yeah.
I think that's our job to figure out where the gaps are and sidewalks and, bike access.
I think it's just asking for a master plan document that's more elaborate than the prioritization list.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, I feel like a 106 and 111 kind of go hand in hand due to the, with the complete streets and then figuring out where the sidewalks end and where we need to continue, which is sort of what we've been doing with our list of sidewalks, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And where there's not a sidewalk to at least have some sort of bike lane or something.
All right. Next item. Nope. Screen sharing first. Share screen. Comprehensive plan. Comprehensive plan. All right. Silly thing wasn't working properly. All right.
Hey, John, you had on the email 112. I don't know if that's the next item that you're going to be looking at. And
Yes.
that's obviously what we're still talking about is like the funding for the sidewalk. When we notate funding for sidewalk, does that include like if there's an opportunity to have a multi-use path in lieu of a sidewalk? Is the funding the same, or is that a totally separate thing that would need discussion?
No, it would be the same funding.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just every year the town, we do set aside, I want to say like 250,000 or to 350,000, like in the budget for sidewalks or multi-trails. It just all goes together.
I need to try and convince county to do that. All right, that was okay. Action item 114. Work with Norfolk Southern to determine potential pedestrian improvements to the at-grade rail crossings on Main Street, Cedar Street, and Hickory Street, and to extend the Sawmill Branch Trail under the railroad. We're working on Cedar Street right now, right?
I know Hickory Street because of the sidewalk along North Hickory.
Oh, I misremembered.
And there will be, some crossing there at the railroad. But
So
Cedar Street, that's near the Y, right? That,
Yeah.
I haven't heard of any changes there.
and Cedar Street and Central. Pull that up on Google Maps for everybody to see. All right.
Those may be good ones to add to our list next year, is the going across Cedar and Main Street, or going across the tracks on Cedar and Main.
Cedar.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. All right. Cedar. Okay. Here's what's talking about. Cedar. It's one of those spots where the sidewalk ends, basically. So
how is the coordination with Hickory Street going, Bonnie? Is it amicable? Is it painful?
I think it's going well. I haven't been too directly involved with it, but I know we have plans and they're out for bid now.
Okay.
So yeah, we got it through, with Norfolk Southern. I know there was just a lot of, coordination with them, and I don't know how it's going to be for construction.
How did we end up deciding on Hickory Street when there aren't any sidewalks connecting?
Well, there's the one on South Hickory that we did up to Richardson a couple years ago. And then with the Rawlings Edward Community Center that's on Hickory, it's going to be going from Richardson to Highway 78.
Okay.
And I think that was on the improvement list, but this one is funded through a grant because of certain, areas we can get grant funding. So.
Yeah, it was on the list.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Okay.
All right. Any more discussion on that one? Oh, yes, I do have some things. Pulling up on Google Maps. We do have one connection at the Main Street ends the tracks. We do have one sidewalk connection at that. Across there. It could be improved on the other side of the road. Actually, no, it does look like. Yeah, the sidewalk does go across at Main Street, as you can see right here. So we've got Main Street and the tracks covered. And here's the other one. Here's the other Main Street crossing.
I
It's
can't
just-
see what you're seeing, John.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't either.
oh, you need to, okay.
No, you're not sharing your screen.
Oops, I'm sorry. I forgot to click that first. All right. All right, here's
Oh,
the,
okay. I see it.
okay, here's the east side crossing. It actually crosses the tracks separately from the road. There we go. And goes into that weird sidewalk across the parking lots area. Right here. And on the other side of Main Street, the connection is pretty good also. So that particular point, we don't need to worry about. All right, what's the other one that was on that list? Action.
Cedar.
Cedar. Oh, Cedar, yes, Cedar. Cedar is completely devoid of all pedestrian crossing for getting across the tracks. You either got to go across the tracks and ballast or cross on the asphalt. So that needs to be that needs to be on the priority list. While we're viewing here, another thing that's on our priority list and in this action matrix is putting bulb outs here. Yeah, the beginning of. All right. All right, back to the action matrix. Norfolk Southern, Cedar Street, Geary Street. All right. Next item, I guess. Oh, and this, of course, for those who may not recall, trying to get Sawmill Branch under the rail tracks here. It terminates here at Richardson Street. And we basically want to get under this rail track. There's room enough under the bridge and extend up to East 3rd North Street and the Highway 78 right here. And eventually, while we're on the topic, extend it back behind. The developer for this particular area is going to be paving this section of the path along their property. But we still need to go from there. Currently, we can use the existing right-of-way to get all the way to Merrymead Drive here behind the Walmart and the BJ's. That might be a good place for another small parking area. Getting across 26 is problematic to say the least. I need to go out there and visit one more time to see if there's enough room to go under, but I doubt it. All right, moving to the next action item, if there's no other questions. 113, install traffic calming elements along key roadways, including Carolina Avenue, Central Avenue, and Pine Grove Street. Just more safe routes to schools. Yes. Okay, yeah, just basic. No, some of these are not actually on our list, so that is the thing we need to keep an eye out on. Possible things to add to the list.
Traffic calming is not part of our charge, though.
No.
We're pedestrian and bicycle.
Oh, did I? Nope, my mistake. I'm sorry. Okay. 114, we just.
Yeah.
No, that's where we left off, isn't it? Yeah. All right. 116 through 119. Yeah, let's go to that page.
DOT won't allow leading pedestrian intervals.
Yeah, let's now. There's a lot of 78s. They won't? Why not? Well, I can speak to Old Trolley Road. When the pedestrian signals are lit, they need to turn off the right turn signal, because there's a right turn signal that directs traffic to be able to turn right when it's not safe. Just
So Rick, DOT doesn't allow that?
Mm-mm.
That's just, what exactly is that? Leading pedestrian intervals, just letting the walk sign?
So,
Or-
so the the pedestrian walk starts before the green by like 4 or 5 seconds. So the pedestrians have a chance to get into the crosswalk and get in view of the cars before the cars get the green. It is a safer way to, you know, help pedestrian conspicuousness. I don't know what the
Yeah.
word is. But it takes away from the operations for vehicles, and DOT is all about vehicles. City of Charleston is really fighting this. So
Okay.
I'm kind of been watching on the outside. You know, as soon as City of Charleston gets it through, I think then we could, you know, push for it out here in Somerville.
Mhm.
But SCDOT has been very hesitant to do that.
If I could, I've been wanting to bring this up throughout the meeting, but this is perfect time. A friend of mine was hit by a car right by the YMCA gymnastics center about a month and a half ago. She and her husband were crossing on a walk signal, and 2 cars. First, one car came around the corner, turning right, and they jumped out of the way from that car. The second car came, also did not see them, and hit my friend, and she was knocked to the ground, and she was badly beat up. Luckily she didn't hit her head, and she's okay. But that interval maybe would have saved them from that accident.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't say for sure, of course, you never know, but as you're describing it, it's like they had the little white man walk signal, and they were crossing, and they were hit.
Mm-hmm.
it looks like
That's awful.
green-
Was that right there at Cedar and Richardson?
Yep.
Mm.
And at 6 o'clock at night before the time change, so daylight, you know, still broad daylight.
That time delay would not prevent the right turn accident.
It wouldn't.
You turn right on the red.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's where they could have. Maybe they had a green and they were turning. I think they had a green and they were turning on a green. So the cars were coming from the same direction as the pedestrians.
I've got it queued up if anybody wants to zoom in.
Yeah, I mean, if they had a walk symbol, then the right turners would have a green.
Yeah, that's what I think I have. Sorry, I misspoke. Yeah, the drivers would have had a green.
So I'll keep a ear to the ground on kind of how that's going in City of Charleston. I don't think it's worth our time right now.
Yeah.
For that.
It looks 3 years ago, 4 years ago in 2016, it looks like Greenville won with their Swamp Rabbit Trail crossing. I have it how. So
That's one. I mean, we're talking, quote unquote normal intersections.
yeah, that's true. That is somewhat of a special case, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right. Next section. Anything else on that one? All right, let's see. Got a whole list of items. Complete streets. Let's just run back to the matrix.
Yeah.
All right. 114, 115. No, that's not it. 116. Install 117. Install pedestrian wayfinding signs on downtown parks and sidewalks and trails. And that we're listed under as part of that. So just with hospitality tax as a possible funding source. Discussion? Item 118, work with local schools to implement a safe routes to school sidewalk network. And that is priority item.
I laughed when I saw that item because the new elementary school out behind Alston is completely inaccessible by walking.
Mhm.
The Highway 78 improvements are going to include sidewalks.
But you can't cross the street there either. But that school did not have any foresight into access for students. They can only get there by driving.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
The Bike Walk Somerville group has definitely talked about doing stuff with the schools. We've already, done some things with Ashley Rich High School and talked to, the principal out there about doing some sort of surveys and having like leadership groups within the school, like the juniors and seniors, putting together some sort of a survey to see like what families and what kids would utilize a sidewalk or a multi-use path to go to school every day. So it is something that we could definitely lean on that group to kind of do some things with the district, I guess, in general. So if there's any ideas on like what we could do other than just, doing some sort of survey and doing some presentations, I mean, let me know and I can present it to our group to kind of get involved in that also.
But I think the schools have a lot of responsibility in where they locate the schools and the facilities they build around the school.
I agree. However, I also feel like the ones that are already in existence, if there's something that we can do from an infrastructure perspective, it would go a long way, I think, for a lot of the parents.
That brings us back to, if you'll full screen me again, I'll share screen. The News 4 story from last week was about the Gahagan intersection near Span. The parent wants their students to be able to cross here at Berlin G. Myers, and the principal says it's not safe enough, is the thing. There are two infrastructure solutions. The first one is to put, because the roadway is so high above the surrounding ground, a pedestrian tunnel could be put under in basically the same spot. And the other solution is to utilizing existing infrastructure is to put a path going down, curving under Gahagan Road, or to put a bridge, pedestrian bridge, and go under Berlin G. Myers at this existing bridge. That's over the stream that comes from Azalea Park.
But the kids would still just cross at the intersection.
Yeah,
You're not going to go out of the way. I think it's crazy that the school's telling the parents what is safe and what's not. And
you're right that pedestrians don't like to go out of their way. So the better solution, I'll have to go over there and take a closer look to see if there really is room to put a pedestrian tunnel here.
It's
Well,
high.
that sidewalk was just built.
Yeah, that was just done
Yeah,
with the crossing.
right. And that crossing, yeah, it was just put in. So I think that should be pretty like low on the list because I don't see, on a new crossing like that, more work being done to put in a tunnel.
It's just not, the existing crossing is not particularly safe,
No,
is the point
No.
that everyone's trying to make, I think.
yeah,
Well, the
That's
parents
true.
think it's safe, so
And this-
yeah. I've used it several times and it is kind of scary with it. Just the fact of the drivers not paying attention because they'll run the red light there. And,
Indeed.
everybody, the drivers are just in a hurry. So.
All right. Let's moving next. Any other discussion on that one?
I mean, that would be a great case for a leading pedestrian interval to get the pedestrians out in the intersection in view of the cars before everyone else.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Perhaps we need to start another list of things besides the priority, things that are not building sidewalks, but things we'd like the town to work on, such as leading pedestrian intervals at particular intersections like this one.
I think we could put it on the list, but again, it's not going anywhere.
till DOT gets.
Yeah.
Nice idea, great plan, but as Rick said, till DOT's blocking. It's immaterial.
Next item, if there's no further discussion. All right. 70 now. Limit curb cuts along primary pedestrian and bicycle routes by encouraging joint use driveways, cross-access easements, and locating driveways on side streets as a part of site plan reviews and traffic analysis. We're not strictly in that.
No.
It's just another thing to keep an eye on. Accidentally included. I shouldn't have included that just now. All right. 120 is a tall order.
Can you share a screen, John?
Yes, I forgot to do so. Just ignore that last item I talked about. All right. Screen is shared for item 120. It'd be easier just for everybody to read this one, I suppose.
That's a big action item. It's a good one. And
Yeah.
it encompasses absolutely everything, I feel, safety perspective.
Yeah. That could be something like we talked about several years ago, where it's similar to a comp plan, but it's the specific like bicycle pedestrian plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be a big undertaking.
I mean, to me, what this looks like is they're looking for some sort of current condition reports, trends, and then the priorities would be like anywhere, it encompasses everything, including like the complete streets, the trail project, the Sawmill Branch Trail, like extending, but also, showing that there's no bike lanes in certain areas and what it would look like to have, 6-foot bike lanes. I mean, that's a big one.
Yeah.
But like, what are they looking for? Are they looking for some sort of a all-encompassing plan to show like what the economic growth could be if they did do all of these things?
Yeah, I guess so. It's just, just having these plans, it's just a guiding document for, what we need to work towards.
Well, I know you guys know that there's already a master plan being worked on right now through the town and the county for the trail, for enhancements to the trail. And a lot of this I included in it, specifically the extension of the trail down to Dorchester Road. And then, Eric over at the parks or at the county has an entire master plan with the parks and trail system that you can kind of encompass to this as well. So
yeah,
those two are sort of already complete.
yeah, good
And
point.
I view a lot of what we do as kind of doing a pseudo bicycle pedestrian plan, priority plan every year. I think a lot of what we've done with our priority list, checks these boxes, and it really just all comes down to funding and getting the projects done. I mean, we've got 30 plus, improvements on our list from last year, 29 improvements. So,
Mm-hmm.
we could spend money on a consultant like myself to, put it in a fancy document with, fancy GIS figures and all that. But I view kind of what our charge is to take care of a lot of that.
As big as it looks, we're really doing a lot of those pieces.
Yeah.
And we have had a survey done. There is a master plan on file with all those routes in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. It's a matter of dollars, cents, and political will.
I will say too, SCDOT is starting its first ever pedestrian and bicycle safety action plan, which my company is undertaking. We are kicking off the project right now, and it's really a data-driven safety analysis. So we've got all the pedestrian and bicycle crash data for the whole state for the last 5 years, and are going to use that to determine our hotspot areas for DOT to improve, as well as determine what the high risk areas are. So obviously, you have seven lane road and long crosswalk with no median refuge. That's going to be a high risk area. So I think this time next year we should be finished with that, and we could take a lot of that information and see how the town, where the ped bike crashes are in the town, and use that to help inform our priority list for like 22.
That's great, Rick. That's awesome. Possibly as part of that, there could be recommendations for the leading pedestrian signal.
I'm sure there will be as part of it. One of our tasks is to develop a toolbox of countermeasures that's high on the list for FHWA for pedestrian safety. So
yeah, that's great. Okay.
I mean, SCDOT is very vehicular focused right now. They're starting to see the benefits of multimodal and increasing safety for all road users. So it's a transition. It's a small transition at this point, but it's going that way.
Okay.
That's always good to hear, because DOT has not been very friendly.
Next item.
Do we have any other items?
yes, that if we have a number of other items, share. Let's see, we are on 120. We have, no, we're closing the end.
Yeah.
No, there's 7 more items in just this one.
Hmm.
7, let's see now. All right, coordinate with BCDOG to implement Sawmill Somerville Branch Connector and other proposed project from Walk Bike BCD 2016. Plan proposed Sawmill Branch Trail extension to 17A. Proposed expansion to Dorchester Road from YMCA and Eagle Chandler Phase 2, and which is a priority action.
Those are all on the list.
On the list.
So now 122, coordinate with Dorchester County on its bikeways improvement program, which has identified Central Avenue and Main Street as recommended first phase routes. That's on our list. Explore opportunities to increase neighborhood access to the existing Sawmill Branch Trail through the connector paths as illustrated in the draft Town of Somerville Bicycle Plan 2010. Basically formalize a lot. There's a lot of dirt connections, and just formalize them. (124) Coordinate with SCDOT on the improved Dorchester Road safety improvement projects. I forgot to pull that one up. To determine feasibility of adding bicycle facilities to the initial proposal if the design has not been facilitated. Let me pull that one up real quick.
That's a median improvement. I don't know how you implement bike lanes for a half mile on Dorchester Road or a quarter mile on Dorchester Road.
Do you know where that stands? Like the design's been done, right? Are they going to start with that?
I don't. It's been a couple of years since they had the public meeting.
Here's the
and I haven't heard that it hasn't.
Yeah.
Or I see no reason why it's not moving forward. So
yeah, I'll try to find out. Maybe Russ might have some information.
One of the things that does need to be, since it is a median project, is to have a slot through the median to in order to have bicycle crossing. Part of the plan is to get a trail going from here where the trail will terminate down through.
You're not sharing your screen, John.
I am, and
I see your list of improvements.
For
the notepad.
Why is it doing that? Okay, fine. Stop share. Share screen. All right, here we go. Here's the web. Okay, this is the SCDOT website. The trail currently terminates here at the YMCA. It's going to run down. We're going to put a bridge here. That's been the big hold up on it, because that would have interfered with the Berlin G. Myers permitting. And it's been discussed about putting a crossing here, and that would have to go through that meeting. Just put a slot for the crossing. As far as other bicycle and pedestrian improvements without adding pavement width, it's not really possible. There's extreme right-of-way constraints that are associated with this project, and there just really isn't room unless you try to take even more right-of-way and widen sidewalks into multi-use paths. one thing that I'm particularly irked about is at the Dorchester-Ladson Road. It's getting turned into a free flow right turn lane going from Dorchester Road onto Ladson Road, which isn't particularly pedestrian friendly.
You're saying going from Ladson to Dorchester, right?
No, Dorchester to Ladson, right where I have it.
Yeah.
Follow my cursor going
Yeah.
that way.
Yep.
Is going to be a free flow right turn lane.
Mm-hmm.
It reduces the congestion, but
It's gonna be impossible to cross.
it'll be difficult to cross, yes. And interestingly, the opposite pork chop is going to be removed, but a new one's going to be added across the other way to prioritize, because this does particularly back things up.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of compromises, and there just isn't the right way to do better by bicyclists and pedestrians. Next, further discussion? All right, 125, support BCD COG in the creation of a regional active transportation commission. I don't know how that involves us exactly. Mm, 127, identify opportunities to increase dedicated town funding for bicycle facilities. I don't know where to go on that either. Any suggestions?
I mean, I guess are they thinking, like putting different stations, like bike stations throughout the town?
Let's
Or
go
are they
to
ride
let's go
share?
to page 81 and see what they mean.
Because there's two different ways to look at it. Could be looking at like those ride share programs that I know was shot down last year. Or they could be thinking of like the stations, like I think there's one out by Nexton now where they have pump stations and stuff, little kiosks where you can pump up a tire. They have like tubes and stuff like that.
All right, here's the page that it's referencing. All right, one of the things that it recommends is extending the existing bike lanes along Old Trolley Road from Travelers Boulevard to Dorchester Road. Again, it's a right-of-way issue. Frankly, I wouldn't feel safe using the said bike lanes. We do need to check if the share the road signs are still there.
Which location are you mentioning?
I'll pull it up on a map. Zoom out. Ooh. Sorry, sound effects. All right, currently bike lanes end here at Travelers Boulevard and Old Trolley Road.
Mm-hmm.
And it's proposing to run bike lanes all the way down to Dorchester Road. Zooming in, you can see
A Y.
a Y does.
Yeah, I mean,
There's just not enough pavement width to do so.
and what's it going to connect to?
Good question.
John, can you go back up to Travelers? I believe they've since now they've put Sharrows in there. I was just down there recently, and they put Sharrows in.
No, this imagery is not going to reflect that, so
Yeah.
we need to check. We need to make sure this sign is still here. This is one of the things we need to check on.
I think having it stop at Travelers is appropriate. To the west, you can get to the Sawmill Branch through the YMCA. To the east, you can get over to Miles Jamison. I don't think you want to bring bikes down to Dorchester Road.
There's no other infrastructure to go there.
Well,
With
the
the
only,
exception, Rick, guess where the bus station is?
yeah,
Yeah.
and also beginning, keep that in mind. There's a multi-use path that starts right there by the bus station.
Yeah.
So people can get, I mean, it's a shame that there's nothing that connects you from Travelers to that multi-use path, the beginning of that multi-use path.
And
Right around.
here, yeah, and here on the Strava heat map, it shows that it is, come on, satellite. There we go. Pretty heavily used.
And then that multi-use path takes you right up to Bacon's Bridge Road.
Yeah, the
Which-
multi-use path starts here. As John has said before, everything leads to this particular area, but it ends. But it's right of way, and additional pavement widths would be needed in order to do things in this area.
Or really, it's when that shopping center develops or redevelops where Swig and Swine is, all behind there. Cut out the main intersection.
Now, if the Sawmill Branch Trail gets complete and goes all the way down to Dorchester Road, then you won't need that access from Travelers, because yeah, you can go down Travelers to the trail and then take the trail over to Dorchester Road.
Yeah,
So either something, because that is a dangerous intersection right there. Highly used on bike or walking and running.
Touching on one thing. Whoa. What the? Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Look like you just had a bike wreck, John.
No, that's the camera pole from the. Let's see now. Yeah, one of the things where this one, it's not a leading pedestrian signal, but maybe we can talk about SCDOT to turn off this, to switch this around so that this right turn on green arrow does not light when the pedestrian signal is lit. Because I personally had a conflict with the driver who the green arrow was telling him he could go, the green light, and I was crossing from here to here, and he was coming at a high rate of speed from trolley.
That
Did not want
green
to,
arrow,
was very reluctant to give me my right of way.
that green right turn arrow should only illuminate when the Dorchester Road lefts are going. Or wait, what are?
Which is when the signal goes off.
Yeah.
I believe.
I have had issues there too in the past, John. And what I have done is cross over the street over to the McDonald's sign and cross over there. Just from a safety perspective, it's safer.
Yeah.
Not that it's right, but.
Well, my personal method is to carry a big walking stick. Drivers do pay attention to you better and give you more space.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't have to, but that's life.
The walk sign should not illuminate with the right turn arrow.
I forget what it was. The guy had a signal that said he could go while I was crossing. It was either just a regular straight green or whatever, but there was a conflict. I need to go document that, basically. All right. Any more discussion on this topic?
No.
All right. We're nearing the end, I believe.
Yeah, and I've got a hard stop at 10:30, so.
Same here.
Okay. We're nearing the end. It's, action matrix. Come on. Anybody's got the queued up page. Okay, action item page 144. Action item 144. There we go. As Somerville grows, the town should continue coordination with school districts. Blah, 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 blah. Safe. Okay, as town grows, basically keep up with adding new bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure for schools as new schools are built and new roads are built and stuff. Just keep an eye on that. All right, next item is 149. Implement. Yes, we've gotten, this is more of a cultural item, but additional signs for pedestrians and drivers and bicyclists to get around downtown and stuff.
Actually, I talked to Bonnie. You might know, is Bonnie still on? I'm not even sure if she's still on, but
Hey,
Amy,
I am. I'm going to have to go soon. It's getting a little chaotic at the house.
This is the second to last one we're on, so.
yeah, I was just mentioning, I talked to Amy Evans, and you can weigh in on this, that the town is rebranding or in the process of rebranding and coming up with new wayfinding signs.
I know that in the historic district, there has been some work with that. But as far as townwide, I don't know. I haven't really talked with Amy much about it. So
Okay.
sorry, I know you have more information than I do about it.
As far as I know, they haven't solidified it yet, but that is something
Okay.
that they're working on from a rebranding perspective and signage.
Okay. So that's good.
Yeah.
And it's all around for the Sawmill Branch Trail, and it's not just specific to downtown, because that might have been with like the BAR or more historic stuff.
I think that's what it was. And then through, I guess the master plan that they're coming up with the trail, they're going to incorporate the new branding signage from the town into the trail and do wayfinding signs like throughout the town. Yeah. So I know that that's something that's being worked on.
Okay, great.
And one last item is number 160. Number 160, further connect the green network of parks and open spaces to the Ashley River and other waterways, including greening sidewalks and street corridors to promote and invite people of all ages to comfortably explore the natural assets of the region. So better connect and expands the greenways. One particular item, one example of that is all right. One example of that is formalizing the connection from Cahagan Park to the Sawmill Branch Trail. Right now, it's just a dirt road, dirt maintenance shelf for the existing drainage that starts here and goes to here. And that needs to be, a new route needs to be chosen for that. And because SCDOT hasn't liked the one we chose, or somebody, just to get from here to here, because that's one example of those interconnections. Now another interconnection is possibly to formalize the connection that goes, this piece of property right here is town owned, and there already is a gravel road that goes through to reach the Sawmill Branch Trail. This goes through the property that the mountain bike trail is on. Possibly work with Iron Gate to put a paved trail going all the way through here to reach the gravel trail, the gravel road. Another example might be to formalize the trail that goes from this gravel road around the pump station to connects to the Sawmill Branch Trail. Just various connections, and also planting more street trees and stuff is what it's basically talking about. And landscaping. Anyone else want to weigh in on that?
Here you
So, go ahead.
John had asked for further comment. Do we have any further comment? John, you've done a wonderful job of picking those pieces out of all that morass.
Indeed.
Much food for thought, but a good thing to see that we're already doing many of these things. So we're in good shape. We're not where we want to be, but we're in good shape, heading in the right direction. There's a couple items we want to look at for adding to our master plan for next year that we want to work on. I talked about the railroad crossings and possibly getting those last things John talked about, the accesses paved, or at least put crush and run in them.
Anything else?
Okay.
Hearing none, do we have a motion to adjourn our meeting, and the next one would be on January the 20th.
Move to adjourn.
No second.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and thanks, and lots of turkeys.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks, John.
Bye.
Happy
Bye.
holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. Bye. Twink.